Do you feel like you're constantly giving, but never quite getting back what you need? Like you're pouring from an empty cup and wondering why it's so hard to just say no? That inner tug of feeling drained, misunderstood, or overwhelmed. The key to breaking free from this cycle starts with setting boundaries. Boundaries that protect your inner child and empower you to stand firmly in your truth. Imagine being able to say no without guilt, to honor your needs, and to protect your emotional space without apology. That's what we're diving into today. How setting healthy boundaries is the ultimate act of self-love, protection, and personal power. Are you ready to step into your full potential? One of the most powerful ways you can protect your inner child is by setting healthy boundaries. Think of boundaries as invisible, energetic lines that preserve your emotional and physical well-being. They act as a filter for how you allow others to treat you and how you treat yourself. When you know what your boundaries are and how to honor them, you begin to teach the world how to interact with you with respect, love, and care. This ripples out into your relationships, your work life, your parenting, your family dynamics, everything. But here's the truth. Your ability to set boundaries is shaped by your early experiences. If your caregivers ignored, dismissed, or violated your boundaries growing up, or if their own boundaries were chaotic or rigid, chances are your own might fall on one of two extremes: overly flexible or overly guarded. You may say yes when you mean no. You may tolerate mistreatment. You may walk away too soon or stay too long. On the other hand, if you had attuned role models who respected your no, validated your emotions, and gave you space to be yourself, your boundaries likely feel more natural, balanced, and intuitive. So what do healthy boundaries look like? They start with clarity. A person with healthy boundaries doesn't compromise their values to gain approval. They know what they want and need and can communicate it without guilt. They accept when others say no and feel empowered to say no themselves. They protect their time and energy, balancing self-care with work and relationships. They walk away from relationships that no longer align with their well-being, but also have the self-awareness to know when it's not about cutting someone off, but about growing through discomfort. Because sometimes our ego wants to run, but your boundaries shouldn't be armor. They should be love in action. And love sometimes requires staying present and growing. Other times, it means having the courage to walk away when your soul is whispering, "This isn't love anymore." Boundaries are what help you say, "No, I don't like that. No, I'm not available for this. No, I'm not responsible for your feelings right now." And most powerfully, no, because I matter. No is a complete sentence. You don't owe anyone a justification. You don't need to over-explain. You are allowed to protect your energy. When you set boundaries, you're not just saying no to others. You're saying yes to your own well-being. When you don't honor your boundaries, you unconsciously make others more important than yourself. And that's when toxic resentment builds. No matter who the person is, partner, parent, friend, family member, even your own child, you are not obligated to tolerate harmful, manipulative, or emotionally exhausting behavior. Boundaries aren't just spoken, they're physical and energetic. Sometimes the most powerful boundary is walking away. Other times it's a silent pause, a breath, a grounded "no thank you." And yes, it can feel uncomfortable. We were raised to be good, to please, to say yes, to avoid upsetting anyone. But real self-love is not about pleasing others. It's about protecting your peace. And here's something essential. Knowing your boundaries and setting them are two different skills. The first step to setting a boundary is awareness. You'll feel it in your body. When a boundary is being crossed, your nervous system will tell you. You'll feel tight, irritated, anxious, angry, or overwhelmed. Anger is your inner guardian. It's here to signal that something's off. When you acknowledge that anger and lovingly assert the space you need, your emotional body begins to relax. You shift from reaction to self-respect. The more you practice, the more your body becomes your compass. You'll feel that familiar signal before it escalates, and instead of exploding or shutting down, you'll simply take care of yourself. And remember, your boundaries are yours. They are not about controlling others. They are about honoring what you will or will not do. That's the only kind of boundary that's truly enforceable, because you can only control you. When setting boundaries, you have to understand you cannot simultaneously protect your peace and manage someone else's emotions. Some people won't like your boundaries, especially the people who've benefited from you having none. But your role is not to make others comfortable. It's to be true to yourself. So ask yourself, with compassion and courage, what do I need to do right now to completely love, honor, and take care of myself? Where in my life do I consistently say yes when I really want to say no? What physical sensations do I feel when a boundary is being crossed? What is my body trying to tell me? Where have I been afraid to set a boundary? Because I didn't want to upset or disappoint someone. What is one small boundary I can set this week to protect my energy and honor my truth? Let your answers unfold honestly and intuitively. And remember, loving yourself enough to set boundaries is not a betrayal of others. It's a coming home to you.